on today's episode, I sit down with the recent winner of The Voice, Chris Sebastian. He tells us why people aren't allowed to sing at his gigs, exactly how much time the contestants really get to spend with the voice coaches, and the conspiracy theories against him. But now that we've spoken to Chris Sebastian, Guy Sebastian, Jules Sebastian, we're coming for you next. What the? Lemon? Big one. Jeez, strange. Oh, gotcha. Look what else I got. Got a lemon. Pretty random. Find in your couch. But you know what they say, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. And that's exactly what our next guest has been doing for 2020. You could say his family name is, well, the voice of Australia right now in more ways than one. Please welcome to our centre stage, Chris Sebastian.
Yoo-hoo! Mate, it's like 29 degrees and you should be outside playing golf.
I would love to be playing golf, but I'm pumped to be chatting to you. So it's I'm going to be honest, I'm playing golf after this. So
that is so good.
Yeah.
So golf. Like, were you ever going to go pro golf?
Oh,
or is
no,
music be the number one?
Look, music will always come first, but only by a hair. Like it's a lot closer than it should be. My desire to play golf full time.
So where are you now? You're in studio.
I'm in my home
business.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I mean, it's a unique experience. Like, because I've done it before. Like I did season 1, but this time it's been obviously a lot different. But it's weird. I'd normally be playing a million shows and we'd be playing tours, and we still are. We're still doing a bunch of shows, but it's like super different. I played the first run of them last week. And there's people sitting down at tables, and I'm not allowed to ask them to sing. That's the crazy. So it's not only can they not like get up and move around, but I can't ask them to sing. They're allowed to clap, but that's pretty much it. So it's just a completely crazy experience.
That is bizarre. And are they, so you've been going show crazy, which is kind of good. I mean, you've had lots of dates and they've all been selling really well since you won The Voice. So do they have to be like socially distanced, or is is it really weird to perform to that kind of crowd?
So I'm an idiot in the nicest way possible. I'm not a very serious person at the best of times, so I like banter with crowds. So like a lot of the times I'll stop the song halfway through and like crack a joke, but that whole dynamic has shifted, especially these shows where I would normally have like the one side of the room singing one thing and the other side of the room singing something else, and it all is like a part of some big elaborate joke. We can't do that anymore. So now it's a complete, like the shows look different, but it's cool because we found ways to sort of get around things and still fit within rules. But yeah, it's weird. It's very weird.
That just sounds totally bonkers, like totally unprecedented. It's just bizarre. But anyway, I tell you what else was bizarre. So you won The Voice, which is mega, but you all had to record endings where you won it, because I watched your Instagram and you didn't know that you were going to win, but you all had to record winnings. Like, what was that like to record winning but not winning?
But that's exactly it. So like I got a bunch of messages, people were like, you weren't like that excited. So no, I was, but like I was third, right? So we didn't know whose turn it was to fake the ending. And it wasn't glamorous. Like a dude just get down on stage after the first one with a vacuum cleaner and starts like vacuuming up all the confetti and all that kind of, and then they have to reset all the sparklers. So it's not like some glamorous process. And mind you, we did that after filming for about 14 hours. So we'd all performed, with the show, you run through twice. So you have a rehearsal in the morning, and then you wait like 4 hours, they reset, and then you do the actual show. So it was a long ass day. And then you've got to do these endings where someone gets up and vacuums the stage, and then it's your turn. So, and to be honest, some people were better at acting than others. Uh, so I was obviously really curious to see, all right, who's going to win this thing purely for what ending do we get to watch?
God, that's so weird. So it's like, how do you play that? Like, you'll never be asked to do that again.
Well, look, I don't think I'll be on the set of Home and Away anytime soon, as far as my acting skills go. But like, it's definitely strange because it just means that we're hoping that we win, but we don't actually get to celebrate the way that we would if we actually did win. So yeah, it was weird, very weird.
That's all right. You had some pretty good celebrations by the looks of it. There was lots of screaming around.
Yeah.
And so you were Team Kelly. Would you, if you went back and did it again, would you be Team Kelly again?
I would. I think, do you know what was unique about the situation is Kelly kind of said to me real early on, she's like, I know you've been doing this for a little while, so I'm just going to get out of your way. And that was kind of like, I was sort of real active. When I was given a song, I would then go to the band and I was like, hey, can I help with this? And I was recording a bunch of parts and like I had a real big influence on arrangements and things like that. And she let me do that. So I think like I've been doing it a really long time. So I didn't feel like I needed coaching so much. I think I kind of just needed a bit of a platform and that freedom, and she gave that to me, which is great. So I definitely, choose her again.
And I always wonder, like, how much touch time do you actually get with the coaches? Like
5 minutes.
Is it a show or is it kind of genuine?
Look, it's genuine in a way that they don't promote it in a way that like we're hanging out, like we're not homies with the coaches. We see them when the cameras are rolling, and that's about it. But not in like a disingenuous way, but more in like it's a TV show. They got a bunch of segments that they got to film with the other artists. So I get that they're strapped for time, and then there's the set resets and things like that. But I think all up with Kelly, I would have had half an hour the whole time.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, definitely not more than an hour, but I would say between half an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, wow. Okay, well, you got to do what you got to do, right? They've got their process. And you get
exactly. But then what you don't see is there's a team of people. So like they've got a vocal coach on the set, they got a music director, and they got people that are there that will then help you. So then you work with like the music team for days, and then you work with the vocal coaches for days, and that's what that was amazing. The people that were working on the show were incredible.
Yeah,
I guess they're the real mentors.
And you've signed to EMI, which is massive.
Yeah.
What does that actually mean?
Yeah, so and that's been for me the best part of it is now I've been writing music and producing music. I mean, sitting in my home studio now, like I'm used to the whole music making process. So now I get to do that with a major label behind me going, all right, once that's done, we're going to move on to this. And it's great. Like my calendar is full. I've got a to-do list every day, and they're just pushing. They've been showing me songs. They've been setting up sessions for me to write with some of their team. And we've already, the show finished 6 weeks ago. We've recorded 7 songs. And I really and not just because I'm in an interview, and like, I love these songs and I've never felt better about my own music before. So I'm genuinely excited. I think there's a stigma with a lot of shows like this that you do a TV show and then you drop off the face of the earth. I'm not worried about that. I think if you got the work, and you're willing to do it, then it'll work out. So I'm actually like proper excited for the music to come out.
And it's not a conventional way to kind of become famous. It is and it isn't now. But it's a tough way to get there because you're just open to so much criticism. What have been some of the biggest hurdles for you dealing with all of that? And how do you kind of make sure that your mental health is on the straight and narrow?
100%. I think addressing the mental health thing, I think it's the most important thing, and really the only thing that I've done to help with that is to have people around me. If you try and do it on your own, it won't work. It doesn't. There are way too many things that can, like, I got slammed after the show finished. Not everyone, that's unfair. But there was a large group of people that were adamant that I only won because of conspiracies. Like there were things like, you got Hillsong Church to vote for you. I don't go to Hillsong. Like that's but I had to address some of those things in interviews that people are like, oh, Guy just got his fans to vote for him. Like, Guy didn't even post about me. He posted about his artist. In fact, of all the coaches, my coach was the only one that didn't do a vote for my artist post. So like, yeah, exactly. So I was kind of screwed in that department. But like there was a lot of negative stuff, but they were the minority. So if I was to focus on that, it would be just a huge injustice to the people that did back me. And I think that's what people, like the people that I had around me, were sort of saying, like, man, screw the people that are like hating on it. I've worked real hard. I would do between 2 and 3 hours of vocal exercises every day for every day I was on that show. I went through and planned all of my arrangements, and I worked as physically as hard as I could. And so I've got to relish in it now. I feel like I worked as hard as I could, and I want to enjoy the spoils of it.
Yeah, I mean that's amazing that you can kind of get through and still be okay, because that kind of emotional stress would be quite a lot for a lot of people to handle.
Yeah.
So what does that mean that we're going to see from you coming up?
Well, the first and foremost, so we're doing these shows. So they start. I've done 3 already, but now where we sort of, that was like a test. Like, can we do this? Is it possible in this COVID environment? And we found that it was. So now we've got, I think, 6 more coming up. And so we're doing a few in Sydney. It's all basically the only places we're allowed to travel. So like the Wollongongs, the Newcastles, Blue Mountains, we're going to Wagga, we're going to Canberra. And as soon as the borders are up, we'll travel a bit more, and the show will look a bit different. But I'm limited to how many people I'm allowed on stage. But so there's the shows coming up, and then there's a single coming out that is my favorite song that I've ever heard of mine, which is recording it was the most fun I've had singing in my life. So I genuinely can't wait. So I think we'll find out the date of that this week when that's going to come out. But yeah, that's what's next. And then we got 3 singles planned for the next sort of 6 months. So yeah, that's what's going on.
And finally, it's going to be your first Father's Day this coming weekend, isn't it?
And that's the wildest feeling in the whole world. Like Mother's Day didn't really hit me because it was for Tash, my wife. So I was like, yeah, cool, we'll do this and it'll be great. And then I was talking to someone yesterday. I was like, you're a dad now. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. It was a strange realization that Father's Day is coming up.
And have you seen changes in you now that you've had the little lady, Ava?
Yeah. I like I said it before, I'm an idiot. I do dumb things all the time. I've got a Harley and I like riding it, and I go forward driving all the time. I just do boy things that are like, it's easy to understand why like girls live longer, because boys just do stupid things. And I'm definitely one of those guys that like, someone would dare me to do something, I'll just do it. I'm like, no, we'll just get it done. And then Ava was born, and I started to reevaluate everything. I was riding my bike the other day, and a car just got like marginally too close to me. I was like, no, I'm not riding. I haven't ridden since. Just because like priorities changed. Because like I can't. What happens if something was to happen? So I can't take those same kinds of risks anymore. And that's stuff that I didn't think about in a million years before she was born.
Yeah, it's another chapter. Literally, so many new chapters for you this year. Super excited to watch your journey, Chris, and it's been awesome to talk to you. Thanks for joining us on Build.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right, catch you later, mate.
Yeah.
See ya.